I am doing a tutorial as support for my pattern for this cowl, the Blue Morpho cowl, which is available on Ravelry, and I will put a link to the pattern down in the notes. And right now I am doing a tutorial for the one color linen stitch, which is featured on the beginning and ending bands and also a center portion. This is single color linen stitch. And if you've never done it before, it's very easy, similar motions to a knit one, purl one ribbing, but it results in this very textured fabric that lays flat and doesn't curl. Let me show you. I'm very low tech here. I'm new to this, so let me show you the stitch pattern written out, and I will also put this down in the notes. On the first row, this is for doing linen stitch in the round. If you want to do linen stitch in the round, you cast on an odd number of stitches, and then in row 1 you knit 1, then slip 1 purlwise with the yarn in front and repeat. That's all there is to it. And then on row 2 you slip 1 purlwise with the yarn in front and knit 1 and repeat. It's a very simple pattern. Let me demonstrate. So I've already got a few stitches knit. Knit 1, bring your yarn forward, you slip the next stitch purlwise, move the yarn back. So it wraps the yarn around the front of that slipped stitch. So again, knit 1, bring the yarn forward, slip the stitch purlwise, move the yarn back, wrapping that strand in front of the stitch that you just slipped. Knit 1, bring the yarn in front, slip purlwise, wrap. You can get in a pretty good rhythm with this once you get going. It's faster when you're not staring through a camera. Let me switch hands so that for those of you who knit with your right hand, you can see how it works. So I am on the slip one. So I bring the yarn forward, slip, bring the yarn back, knit 1, yarn forward, slip, bring the yarn back between the needles, knit 1, yarn forward, slip, yarn back. You get into a nice rhythm. You just bring it forward. First you knit, you bring it forward as if to purl, slip, put it back. Knit, bring it forward as if to purl, slip, bring it back. And I'm working on a simulated in the round swatch here. If you don't know how to do that, you should look it up. It's a good way to get swatch gauge for in the round items. And let me just finish off this row and then I will show you row number 2. Oh, I'm doing garter stitch for my ends, so I'm on a purl since I'm doing in the round. So for simulated in the round, you carry the yarn across the back and you just slip your needle through so that you're always knitting on the right side, just like you would with actual in the round knitting. Okay, so now we're on to this row 2. Having the odd number cast on, as soon as you get around to your beginning of round marker, you will be set up to do row 2 automatically. You don't even have to think about it. So let me carry that yarn across the back and do my garter stitch border really quick. And don't worry about the border stitches being loosey-goosey. They always are on this kind of swatch. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now we are set up for round 2. Actually, I think I have one more garter stitch here. Okay. Got those 2 stitches crossed. That's why I was confused. So, sorry about that little mistake. As you can see, the stitch that you slipped has this little bar in front of it. So you know that you want to knit into the stitches that are behind those bars, and you want to slip the stitches that are up at the front. So your round 2 instructions are you slip one with yarn in front, knit one, slip one with yarn in front, knit one. And again, if you lose track, if you get to these ones that do not have a bar in front, those are the ones you're going to be slipping. So you slip the one with no bar in front, and you come to one that has this little bar in front. See that little bar? That's the one you're going to be knitting. And that is all there is to one color linen stitch. And again, this is support for the pattern Blue Morpho Cowl on Ravelry.